World Cup 2026 draw reaction. We're going to break down England's games and the biggest, juiciest fixtures that have been lined up for next summer's tournament in Mexico, Canada, and of course the United States. Make sure you leave your comments down below your initial thoughts and obviously subscribe to the channel. We have to start off with England's toughest fixture in the group, Croatia. These guys made it to the last four of the last World Cup. Were runners-up the previous World Cup as well. Modric is a generational player. He's still kicking about for Croatia. Thomas Tuchel will have to take extra precaution against a Croatia side that will be galvanized by one of the biggest icons in world football. We talk about Messi playing this tournament. We talk about Ronaldo playing this tournament. But Modric is just below them in terms of being one of the great icons in the history of football for what he's achieved. And he'll be looking to get a big shot win against England. England should be smashing Croatia all days of the week in a group game, with all due respect. Anything can happen in a knockout game, but England did a very similar job on Croatia in the Euros a few years back. It's not the same Croatia side that it used to be with Mandzukic, etc. Still got some quality with the likes of Gvardiol. Kovacic should be back from injury for the tournament as well, of course. But Modric is the big one, and if England sit back and let him pull strings, it could be scary. Just behind Croatia in terms of quality and an unbelievable side is Ghana, and it's a big test for England because England of yesteryear have nearly been upset from African sides in early parts of World Cup tournaments. I'm thinking of Roger Milla for Cameroon, for example. So Ghana are a real force. They've got brilliant players. You think of Kudus, you think of Semenyo, two of the best forwards in the Premier League right now. It's a different kind of energy that England will have to try and contain compared to maybe a slower, less physical, less pacey Croatia side. Ghana have got technical brilliance, pace, power, more of a younger team. That'll be a big threat for Thomas Tuchel as well. And I argue the one thing we can learn from this group is that England will have to approach Ghana, Croatia and Panama all very differently. Maybe that's an obvious thing to say, but I think Thomas Tuchel will have to be very adapted. And I think Southgate, whatever you say about Gareth Southgate in previous tournaments, he was very good at getting the job done in the group stages and adapting to the opposition, making sure that England had no banana skins, no stupid results, no weird kind of scraping through the groups and getting Germany in the round of 16 like Capello did in 2010 or Sven did a couple of times. And Thomas Tuchel has to take a leaf out of Southgate's book to make sure he grinds out wins against Ghana, Croatia, limits what they can do. And then the game against Panama is obviously an easy game with all due respect. Panama, I don't think have ever even picked up a win in World Cup tournaments. It's amazing. They're in the tournament, don't get me wrong. Last time England played Panama, 2018, I was there. I was having a great time in Russia, unfortunately. 6-1, a brace from Johnny Stones, Harry Kane hat-trick, Jesse Lingard. So that should be a three-pointer for all the sides. And then you're looking at Croatia try and nick a win there, and then suddenly England are out of the group stages, and that's where it's really interesting. It opens up, and of course England, if England keep winning football matches in the tournament, won't really meet the likes of Spain or Argentina, who are two of the top-ranked sides in the world right now because of the new ranking system that Rio Ferdinand so adequately explained throughout the draw. Maybe too many times, but he did certainly explain it to all of us. And England, because of this kind of it's almost like Wimbledon. It feels like a seeding kind of system that England could have a favourable run to quarterfinals, semi-finals, final, and avoid arch nemesis Argentina, semi-arch nemesis Spain after the last tournament final as well, the Euros in Germany. So England, really, it's not the worst group in the world. I think my first observation from all the other groups would have to be that there aren't any horror groups, really. I remember when I was really young, I think Argentina had a group with the Dutch. You can think of sides that have had Italy and Argentina in groups before. There are no horror draws here, really. Even if Italy make it into Group B, you're looking at the likes of Italy playing Canada, Switzerland, Qatar. There are no major, massive sides all fighting out in the group stages. They've all been kept apart in this tournament structure, whether rightly or wrongly. And it means that a lot of these sides, the likes of maybe Iran, you think Tunisia, Curacao, Haiti, Qatar, They're going to get picked off. Jordan, with all due respect, they're going to get picked off by bigger sides, and eventually these big juicy games that we love to see at the World Cup, they just won't happen as early. I think they're going to happen. We're going to see the likes of, a France versus Portugal kind of game. Maybe we would have seen more of it. I remember Spain-Portugal in the 2018 World Cup early on as well. We're not going to see that this year. It's going to be Portugal-Uzbekistan. It's going to be Portugal. Maybe it's Portugal-England in the quarterfinals, guaranteed because of the way this is structured. So that's the first observation. Lots of groups. 2006 World Cup, for example, I think it was it Group H it went down to? Now we're down to Group L. Before long, it'll be Group Z. It's just getting bigger and bigger, these World Cups. But at least we're including countries that maybe never would have got into the tournament, and maybe that's beautiful for their fans. When Haiti got pulled out of the mixer, the fans were kicking off inside the FIFA kind of auditorium. So there's some representation here that's really exciting for world football. We can debate how far they're going to go into the tournament based on this structure, because a lot of these sides, I'm looking at, Belgium are going to pick off these guys. Spain are going to pick off Cabo Verde, for example, and Saudi Arabia. It's an interesting one. My first observation as well would also be that Group D is really juicy. It's the one that could be a juicy kind of affair. Paraguay have done well in World Cups when they've been in World Cups. They've gotten out of the group stages. Did in 2010, I think. America versus Australia is juicy. Scotland versus Brazil. That's what we're looking at as kind of British people on these isles, of course. And you're thinking Brazil, Alan Brazil, of course, comes to mind for some reason. But I think Brazil, Scotland's a juicy fixture. Morocco did so well in Qatar as well. So that Group C, very, very juicy. And Scotland will certainly be looking at it thinking, get 3 points against Haiti, maybe draw against Morocco. Suddenly we're out of this group. We can just not get smashed up by Brazil. But that'll be a very, very juicy fixture, 100%. The Republic of Ireland could be facing one of the host nations, Mexico, if they make it through the playoffs. That would be very, very interesting. I think all banter aside, as a kind of very biased English fan, you want to see maybe the Northern Irish in there, Republic of Ireland. I think one of those two, maybe not the Welsh because they got smashed last time, but you want to see a little bit more representation from these isles, because there's a lot of fantastic footballers from Ireland in particular, whatever part of the Ireland we're talking about. Group B, as I said, Qatar, Switzerland, Canada, very open part of the tournament. Canada will be looking to get out of the group, of course, one of the host nations, but they could be facing, again, Northern Ireland, Wales, Italy. Imagine Craig Bellamy managing a World Cup side. That would be very, very juicy, 100%. Let's just skim over the groups. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. But look, Mexico, South Africa, the opening game, that is incredible. I remember South Africa in 2010, obviously opening their own tournament. Shabalala scored an outstanding goal, and that was incredible scenes. Group B, as I said, Qatar, Switzerland. I think Switzerland will be looking to take a real bit of momentum in that group and dominate things. I think they're the real adults in the room. And even though they're bottom of the pot, I think really it's Switzerland's group is Group B. Group C, Brazil will be absolutely in love with what they've got, but Scotland should be looking to, get something positive. I think Scotland-Morocco is the big one for those guys. If they can beat Morocco, they're out of that group, in my honest opinion. Group D, USA versus Australia. As I said, Paraguay with the winner of Playoff C. Very open, flat draw as well. You could see Australia and the USA get out of that group, 100%. Curacao, obviously, 150,000 people. I mean, there's more people in Slough than Curacao. And the fact they got into the World Cup is unbelievable. Their opening game of all time, they've never even played in a World Cup before, is Germany, the most successful European side in the history of football. That's incredible. Versus the Ivory Coast, they got some brilliant players, and versus Ecuador, that's a very competitive group, 100%. The Dutch versus Japan. Japan always cause an upset, don't they? Always. You could see Japan doing the Dutch as well, maybe getting out of that group. Tunisia, tough opposition. Belgium versus Egypt, Iran, New Zealand. That's juicy. Kevin De Bruyne, baby. 100% Belgium get out of that group. But it's a big debate with Mohamed Salah, if he'll make it. With Egypt out the group as well, I think they probably will. Spain, Uruguay, that is juicy. That's probably the toughest fixture. If all the group games, England, Croatia might actually be the hardest fixture of two sides playing each other. France, Senegal's tough as well. France, Norway's pretty tough. But Uruguay, Spain, Big game. Historic for obvious reasons. Both World Cup winners in their own right. And then it'll be Saudi Arabia, Cape Verde getting mashed up by these guys. France, Senegal, Norway, Erling Haaland. Big factor there. Can Erling Haaland, guide his team throughout the group stages, pick up important goals, be fit, be razor sharp? You don't need to be super on it in the group stage in the World Cup. If he's just even 60% of where he is, maybe he's had a great season with Manchester City, hopefully. All he has to do is pick up a couple of goals. Suddenly he's on 3, 4, 5 goals. That's the kind of guy that Erling Haaland is. And maybe he upsets that group and gets ahead of France. Who knows? We've seen stranger things happen. If he's on red hot form, he's looking, isn't he, Erling Haaland, to pick up these goals, add them to his CV. World Cup goals. Think about how we rate Miroslav Klose, for example, or Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo. Imagine Erling Haaland getting in there with the likes of the Gary Linekers of the world, picking up, he could score 9 goals in this World Cup. No question in my mind. Argentina versus Austria is a juicy one. Jordan, Algeria as well. Portugal versus Uzbekistan, Colombia. Portugal will be a very juicy affair. Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, and a playoff side going in there. But we'll round out with England versus Croatia. England get out the group number 100%. I actually fancy Croatia to make it out the group. But Ghana have got some brilliant attacking players. I just think Modric pulling strings, especially in the heat as well. He's not even going to be fit enough to play every game. But if he's good enough to get a win against Ghana, maybe he nicks a draw against England. They'll smash up Panama without Modric. They can rest Modric for Panama. I think Croatia make it out the group as well. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments down below. Give me your predictions. I'll see you very, very soon.